Now, God is telling us something. I don't care how you see yourself. When God sees you, you are good. So he doesn't see you as you. He sees you as the you he sees in himself. So now, observe what God did. And God what? Separated the light from darkness. This is what the teaching is. Please pay attention. Your life will change. You were a sinner, darkened in darkness. The light of the gospel came to you. You received that light and became the light. And God saw you and realized you were good. Now, this is the challenge. Many Christians are now only comfortable about the fact that they are the light of the world and they are born again, that they are the righteousness of God, which is a very powerful reality. But you see, God didn't stop there. So after the light came and God saw it was good, the next thing God did was to separate the light from the darkness. Who is the light? You. He separates you from darkness. Who is darkness? Unbelievers. Who is darkness? Evil. Who is darkness? Sin. Who is darkness? The world. So listen, after salvation, the next sequence is separation. I repeat myself. After salvation, the next sequence is separation. So if you've been born again and you are not separated, you can't live the purposes of God on earth. So when God saw the light, he separated it. God does not want to put you on common grounds with darkness. God does not want you to fellowship with unfruitful works of darkness. He doesn't want it anymore. He wants to distinct you. He wants to make you special. That's why when God brought Israel out of Egypt, he separated them from Egypt and from every other nation. So God separated. So separation is a very important thing after salvation. Now, so the teaching here is on the 3 levels of separation. And when you observe this verse, we see the first level of separation, which many Christians have not begun yet. And unfortunately, if you don't do this kind of separation, you are not ready for the second and the third. And if you're not ready for the second and the third, you can't be used by the Lord. Now, follow. The first level of separation is what we call separation from the world, sin and evil. So when you are born again, this is the first thing God is interested in your life. I'm talking to those who want to do business with God. So the first separation is separation from the world, from sin, and from evil. Have you noticed that God wanted to make Israel a great nation? But as long as Israel was still in Egypt, he couldn't accomplish it. God, by his great power, had to take Israel from Egypt. He had to separate them from Egypt before he could do anything with them. Hear me carefully. Until God has separated you or you have separated yourself from the world, he can't start any meaningful thing in your life. Check the Bible. For God to use Abraham, he separated him from his father's house. Go read the Bible. He says, Abraham, get thee. It was not something God did. It was something he instructed him to do, which means your will is involved. God does not do it automatically. It is something you must do for yourself. Check your Bible. He says, get thee out of your father's house, from your country, and from your kindred. So the first separation is separation from the world. Look, before God used Moses, he had to separate Moses from Egypt. Can I shock you? You cannot deliver people from Egypt when you are in Egypt. I'll repeat myself again. You cannot deliver people from Egypt when you are still in Egypt. For God to use Moses to deliver Israel out of Egypt, Moses had to come out from Egypt into the wilderness, separation, to be prepared to deliver Israel from Egypt. You cannot save a dying world when you are part of the dying world. You cannot save a world you're already part of. You cannot draw a man from a pit you're already in. You cannot bring light to a dark man when you are still in darkness. That's not possible. So it's very simple. You cannot release, deliver, or save people from sin when you are in sin. That is why we have so many weak believers. So as you are sitting down, if someone is battling with masturbation, can he have that conversation with you? Because you yourself need deliverance. It's unfortunate, but we got to say it. And you see, the reason why you must cry to God for that separation is because, listen, the dying world needs you. It's a serious matter we are dealing with here. And you see, many Christians don't know the seriousness of maturing. Too many people are tied to your maturity. Too many people are tied to your separation. So you must cry to God that you are still living a worldly life. You must cry to God that you are still into pornography. I always ask myself, if I'm cheating on my wife, living in watching pornography, and doing all kinds of. When someone comes with a problem, my sincerity will not allow me to deliver that person. How can you deliver someone when you need deliverance from the same thing you want to deliver the person from?
Audio Jungle.